Hey guys, Sensei Craig here. Welcome to the Samurai Virtual Dojo for our pre-recorded novice training session this week. Today we're going to look at some striking, some kicking, mawashi-geri, front leg, as well as continue our practice and learning of Pinan Sandan Chapter. So let's get warm and get stuck into it. Okay, so we're going to start with some skipping today. If you're not too good at skipping, then you can substitute jogging for this. And of course, because this is a novice session designed for littlies, so young children, right up to adult beginners and novice students, you can of course choose a warm-up activity that suits your fitness levels, that sort of thing. Okay, so the more experienced you are, the more we'd expect you to do. So what I'm going to commence with is, or what we're going to do is 5 rounds of skipping. So if you're a little less fit, I would like you to complete 5, maybe 30-second or 20-second rounds of skipping with 10-second rest intervals between. For you more advanced students out there, higher fitness levels, maybe take it up to 60 seconds or even 90 seconds of skipping with 15-second rest intervals between. So what I'm talking about is, get out your rope, just some light skipping. So whatever your round is, maybe go for 30, 45 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever. Get your double unders, get your crossovers, all that sort of thing. When you've done your 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever, rest, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and then complete your next round. Off you go again, and complete that 5 times. Great. Now that you've done some cardio, let's get into a bit of strengthening. So, I'm going to do some push-ups and some sit-ups. Remember to focus on the correct form when you're doing these. And again, escalate up or down depending on your age, experience, strength and fitness level. So we're going to be doing these exercises in the reverse pyramid structure, okay, where we start with a high number of reps, go to the other exercise, high number of reps, and then come down. So for example, maybe you just want to start with 6 push-ups, 6 sit-ups, and then do 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, all the way down to 1. Okay. If you're a little bit fitter, stronger, more advanced, I'd like you to start at 10. And of course, modify your technique depending on your strength and fitness level. So for example, if you're a little bit more advanced, then you can do more advanced or more difficult push-ups and sit-ups. And for you younger ones out there, less experienced, do easier push-ups or sit-ups. So for example, push-ups on your knees. Okay. Or, sit-ups with your feet on the floor and someone anchoring your feet. So let's have a look at how the reverse structure works. I'm going to start at 6. Okay, so as you can see, I'm working with my hands in what we call a planche position. So my hands are more back by my side here, and I've also turned my hands back. However, I'd like you guys to use any push-up position that you like that's going to challenge you. So as I said, my hands are backwards, and I'm using the planche position. Make sure your core's nice and strong, and I complete 6 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. From there, I immediately come into my chosen sit-up position. So, I like to challenge myself, so I'm going to do V sit-ups. So, legs out, straight, toes pointed, quite low to the ground, we don't want them up here. Back off the ground, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then immediately back into my push-ups. But now I'm doing 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then straight around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sit-ups. Then around. 4 push-ups, 4 sit-ups, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Like I said, if you're a bit more advanced, fit, strong, start maybe up at 8 or 10. Once you've completed that, I'll see you back here for the next section. Hey guys, welcome back. For those of you who are very rightly wondering, where's Sensei Craig's badge today? I just thought I'd let you know that I'm just trialing. I've been sent one of these Adidas, they call them a Club Gi, starter gi, to try out today. Move back. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's poly cotton. Feels quite comfortable. Me personally, I like a slightly longer jacket length, but the jacket length isn't too bad. This is a 180. I'm 179 centimeters tall, so this is a 180. It's not too bad a fit, plenty of room there, that sort of thing. So not a bad club gi. Anyway, yeah, quite like the feel. So I was also thinking that we're going to have a prize for our 200th subscriber on YouTube, and I was thinking we're already going to give our 200th subscriber a t-shirt, or a samurai t-shirt or polo shirt. I was thinking as well, what we might do is throw in a club gi as well. So if you are our 200th subscriber, if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. Awesome to see our subscriptions going up, and that's fantastic. However, if you are our 200th subscriber, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you're our 200th subscriber, you will also, in addition to a t-shirt or polo shirt, get a Adidas Club Gi in your size sent out to you. So keep subscribing, keep supporting. Thank you very much, guys. Let's get into some training. Os. Fantastic. So as I said earlier, we're going to start our session today with some striking, predominantly striking with the hands, which is very traditionally or iconically traditional karate oriented. Okay, so striking means using our fists and other parts of our body, for example, elbows, head, knees, that sort of thing, to strike at our opponent. So technically a punch is a strike, but when we talk about strikes in karate, obviously, particularly traditional Okinawan Japanese karate, we're talking about these iconic movements like, you know, spear hand, nukite, and shotai, you know, palm strike this way, and hammer fist, tetsui, all those sorts of things. So I thought we'd just do a quick revision today of some of those strikes. Okay, so standing in Haikodachi, and when I say yoi, I would like you to tighten or contract your core slightly, activate those muscles, and of course get the hands ready. Here we go. Yoi! Good. And hand forward. We'll start with striking shotai. Make sure your arm is nice and straight, your fingers are curled in and pulled back. Ready? Yes! Nei! San! Hyo! Go! Run! Nana! Hach! Kyu! Ju! 10 more. Eight! Ni! San! Make sure your hikite is pulled right back and closed. Don't have it in the same position as the strike. I forgot what we were up to. Let's go with Yon! Go! Rock! Nana! Hach! Kyu! Strong ki. Good. Okay. The next strike we'll take a look at is a basic nukite, or spear hand action. Now obviously, there's plenty of points on the body. We can strike nukite or strike towards with our nukite. From a modern perspective, okay, soft tissue area is obviously better for our hands. Perhaps, you and I, we don't spend as much time as the great masters did, toughening and strengthening our hands, smashing our hands into trees and pieces of wood and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that they did it. And that was to strengthen the hands and the fingers so that their bodies became weapons, like spears and things like that. Okay, because my hands, and yours as well, are a lot more brittle than theirs, we tend to use these strikes for more soft tissue areas, but we still practice traditional versions of them. So with our nukite, we're going to strike to the solar plexus area. Yoi! Hand forward. Ready, striking. X! Make sure your backhand, your hikite is closed. And also, make sure when you strike, your arms should not be locked dead straight. Make sure there is a very slight bend there. But not a bend like this. Just a slight bend. Knee! San! Yong! Go! Ro! Keep that core strong. Nana! Hats! Q! Chu! 10 more. X! Knee! San! Yong! Go! Ro! Nana! Hats! Q! Strong ki. Good. And relax. Excellent. Next we'll move on to a basic or traditional tetsui action, hammer fist strike. This way. I'll put a link in the description of the video to a short, descriptive video that I've done about Tetherball Gi, or hammer fist strike, because we do have different versions of Tetsui. And I shot that video, which I'll link in the description, to describe the difference between this basic version and the reverse version that we use in Pinan Sandan. So it only goes for a few minutes, I think, so definitely check that video out if you want a bit more information about Tetsui and to practice an alternate version. Yoi! Hand forward. Striking Tetsui now. X! Good. Nice circular action. Knee. Think down, down, nice and strong. Especially with your lat muscles. Down. Sun. Yong. Go. Don't think around with the fist. Think around with the elbow and then piston. Piston your lower arm, your forearm and fist like so. Let's have a look at that in slow motion. So elbow comes around. Can you see the position of the arm? And then there's a piston type effect at the end as we drop it that way. So don't Donkey Kong. All right, let's start again. Ready? X. Knee. That's better. Sun. Yo. Go! Ro! Nana! Hats! Q! Strong ki. Very nice. And relax. Okay, if you feel like it, go over those 3 strikes again. Slightly more advanced, let's say novice students. So if you're maybe even a yellow belt or an orange belt, perhaps complete those exercises again. In fact, I'd recommend this. Complete those exercises again. However, this time, do them in Zen Kutsudachi left and then Zen Kutsudachi right. So for example, Zen Kutsudachi left, shotai, striking like so 10 or 20 times, then change into Zen Kutsudachi right, strike shotai 10 or 20 times, then repeat with nukite, then repeat with Tetsui. So I'll give you a few moments to go and do that now. Then we'll come back and look at the next section of training today. Excellent. Welcome back. We're going to complete one more strike However, I'd like to do it in a slightly more basic way. We're going to have a look at uraken. Uraken. Okay, ken, of course, as most of you know, means fist, and ura, well, depends on the context. Ura can mean back or reverse. So when we say uraken, we're meaning back or reverse fist. So it's referring to this part here of our fist, striking. And uraken can look like this. Got you. Okay, so the back of the fist coming around and striking this way. Uraken can also come forward, so I can strike this way. Alright, I can also strike low with uraken. Not as common, but you can. Alright, so let's have a look at the basic steps of putting a simple uraken together. Alright, so I'm just going to work from a kneeling position. However, you can feel free to work from a haikodachi, if you're a little bit more advanced, possibly even a kihondachi or a zenkutsudachi. Okay, so starting with one hand forward, we wind up the hand that is going to strike very similarly to a lot of our uke movements. From here, remember we're chunking and sequencing at this level, so we're just going to separately pull our hikite back. Okay, now we're going to lift and point our elbow towards the target. Okay, then without moving the elbow, we're going to extend the fist like so. Make sure it's the back of the fist that you're striking with. Remember, if we strike this way, which is completely legitimate, we're using the hammer part of the fist. That's tetsui, as opposed to uraken, back fist. We then recoil the technique, and from here, we either go into the next strike or we recover. Let's just recover for now. And let's look at that again. So, wind up, pull your guard hand back to hikite, point your elbow, strike, recoil the strike. Now, striking arm recoils to hikite position and thrust. I'm going to do that one more time, this time with a count. Ich, ni, san, yon, go, rook. So there's 6 steps there. I would like you to practice those steps. Pause the video here. Practice those steps depending on your level as many times as you need to. 5, 10, 20. When you're ready, hit play. Okay. Now that you've practiced that very chunked and sequenced version, let's have a look at which parts we can combine or remove the gap from. So, hand forward. From this position, let's keep this separate. However, now, as we pull this hand back, let's lift the elbow. Good. So we've combined those two things. Now, when we strike, we're not going to leave our fist out there. We're going to snap it and pull it back. Ready? Go. Snap and back. Good. Now, thrust. Interesting. So we've combined 2 pieces or 2 chunks, and we've taken the gap out of 2 pieces, between 2 pieces as well. So let's see how that pans out with the count. Ready? Ich, ni, san, yon. So there you go. It takes it from 6 counts to 4. Ready? Ich, ni, san, yon. I'm going to do it one more time. Ich, ni, san, yon. Remember to keep your elbows still when you strike. I'll show you why. Okay, so if my elbow's pointing over here, that's where my strike will go. Completely no good. I need it going towards the target. So the elbow is kind of like the sight on our gun, or when we're drawing the bow, looking down the sight. wherever I put my elbow, that's where the strike is going to go. So if I move my elbow, you see what happens? So you need to keep your elbow nice and straight, guys. Okay, have a quick look at that on the other side. So it's ich, ni, san, yon. Excellent. Down to 4 counts. Make sure you're practicing both sides of the body. And again, little samurais, I'd like you to practice 5 or 10 with each hand. Juniors, 10 minimum each hand. Probably 15 would be better. Adults, cadets, 20, 30. When you've done that, I'll see you back here. Okay, so once you've put your uraken together and you've done that practice, you should have something that vaguely or looks a bit like this. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's have a look at that on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you're not quite at that stage yet, please, like I always say, don't escalate too quickly. But over the next few days, I'd like you to practice your uraken and possibly get it up to that point. All right, that's good work. Remember, that strike is called uraken. Good work. Let's move on. Welcome back. So in our Tuesday tips video last week, we looked at mawashi-geri, some tips for enhancing your flexibility, your balance, your core strength, your form, your technique with mawashi-geri. In this week's pre-recorded novice training session, I'm going to do a little bit of practice of front leg mawashi-geri. And you can see there, up here, I've got a tetherball just floating in space. We're not going to use that straight away. We're going to use that shortly. Now, if you do not have a tetherball or a totem tennis ball at this stage, I'm not going to ask you to run immediately out and get one. Some quick stopgap solutions include some pantyhose and a tennis ball at the bottom of it. Hang that up somewhere as well. Or you can just practice your front leg mawashi-geri without a target until you get a tetherball or something like that. But anyway, the tetherball is going to be really useful to us later on. Anyway, let's have a look at that mawashi-geri. Okay, so starting in our kihondachi or zenkutsudachi position, kihondachi probably a little bit better for novices. But with front leg mawashi-geri at this level, we want to either be stepping up and turning our back foot, or we want to be skipping up and lifting our back foot. As this video is aimed at mainly novices of white belt 10th Q, 9th Q, 8th Q, maybe 7th Q level, we're just going to stick today, or I'm going to stick today, to just simply stepping up. So let's talk about some golden rules with front leg mawashi-geri. Okay, well, key factors. Key factor number 1, turn your back foot properly so your body is rotated. So that means turning the foot from this position here, 45 degrees to here, turning at 45, an initial 45 as I step and then another 45. So it completes a 90-degree turn from where it commences. And that's key factor number 1. Key factor number 2, I would strongly recommend, is tightening and pushing through with the pelvis. Okay. Now, technically speaking, your pelvis should be tucked in this commencement position, this zenkutsudachi or this kihondachi. However, as novice students, I have to say, the majority of the time when I watch novice students step up in the dojo, they tend to relax their core and it goes back a little bit. That's why I often say key factor number 2 is to just reconnect that core. I'm not upset that novices disengage their core as they step up. It's very normal. However, if you didn't disengage your core as you stepped up, that's fine, but just keep that in mind. So we've got key number 1 is to turn your back foot as you step up. Key factor number 2 is to ensure or to contract the core, or to ensure that it already is. All right, now I'm going to turn and face the camera for key factor number 3. So key factor number 3 is lift the knee straight, very much like uraken earlier. If you point your knee in the wrong direction, your foot will go in that direction. Let me demonstrate. So I turn properly here. Okay, let's say I've disengaged my core a little as I stepped up. So key factor number 2, re-engage the core. Okay, key factor number 3, if I lift my knee here, which we talked about in Tuesday tips, can you see where the kick goes? It goes over there. And where's my opponent? All right, they're in front of me. Okay? So, from this position here, if I put my knee over here, it's no good. I want to kick over there. I need to kick like uraken. I need the strike to go towards the target. So, if the bum is sucked in, here, lift the knee straight in line with your body. Watch. Just like we worked on in Tuesday tips. If you haven't watched Tuesday tips from last week, I highly recommend pause, go back and check that out now. But anyway, that's tip number 3. Lift the knee in line with the hip, or in line with the body. Okay, let's have a look at that in action all together. So, from here, number 1, step up, slide up, and turn your foot 90 degrees, so it's facing back at an angle. Number 2, ensure that the core is nice and strong. It's tucked, it's engaged. If it's not, do that now. Number 3, lift the knee in line with the body. Make sure the foot is pulled back, lift the knee in line with the body. There we go, good. Now you can let the kick go. So lift the knee in line with the body and let that kick go. Down. And make sure you turn back properly. Notice that my back foot has turned back to 45 degrees. Excellent. Let's look at that again. So from here, key number 1, or tip number 1, step up and turn your foot. Number 2, tighten or ensure that it's still tight. I'm talking about the core. And number 3, lift the knee in line with the body and flick the kick. Down and turn back. Very nice. Let's do 5 in that sequence. To my count. Itch. Knee. Down. Sun. Take your time. Balance. Itch. Is your core tightened? Good. Knee. Sun. Keep the kick low for now. Let me show you something. At this stage, if you attempt to kick higher, this could happen. You bend over in an effort to get that high. Guys, I know we all want to kick to head high because it looks cool and that's what we see in the movies. But remember, self-defense, it's not a movie. We want techniques that are practical, powerful, and work well. Please do not try to kick to the head at this stage. Here we go. Hitch. Knee. Down. Sun. Hitch. Knee. Sun. Notice how I've got that balance after the kick, after the recoil. I'd like you to try and get the same thing. Keep your head still and your core strong, and your hands still, it should be easier. Hitch. Knee. You see? Then down. Sun. One more. Hitch. Strong kia. Kia. And sun. Good. Excellent. So, what's the recommended practice for the pre-recorded session? In a moment, pause. Little samurais, I would like you to do whichever side of the body, left or right, is easier for you, where you have better balance. And I would like you to do that 10 times. Juniors, I'd like you to complete that both sides of the body. 7 years and older, and more experienced novices, I would like you to complete that at least 10 times on both sides of the body, if not 15. Cadet and adult novices, okay, you need to be doing 20 or 30 of these repetitions. Okay, again, if you're a little bit more experienced, you can escalate. So your first 5 might be very chunked and sequenced. Robotic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. And by set or kick number 10, you could be going a little bit quicker. By kick 20, a little bit quicker again. But remember to have that gradual escalation. Please don't jump up and try to kick too high or too quickly, too soon. It will do damage to your technique. Fantastic. So hit the pause, do that, then come back for a bit of Pinan Sandan. Okay, so for those of you with a tetherball or indeed the makeshift version, a stocking or something like that, remember to hang it at a height. Fortunately in the dojo here, in the Samurai Virtual Dojo, or Samurai Karate Croydon, we actually have some little eye loops through the roof so that we can hang out tetherballs and things like that from the roof. Anyway, in your training space, if you're able to rig up something like that, it's a really great idea. But don't have the ball too high, okay? And make sure it's adjustable. So this one's adjustable. I can bring it down to here. I can adjust it so it's a little bit higher if I like, or if I'm working with taller, more flexible students. Okay, how do we use the old tetherball? So the idea is not to kick this thing and see it go flying across the dojo. I mean, obviously, that's going to feel really bad. I mean, no. At a novice level, even if we're a 7th Q, 6th Q, we're looking for control. When we kick, particularly in kumite, we don't want to take people's heads off. We want to learn that control. So what I would like to see is you kicking the ball here, touching it, but trying to minimize the amount of impact so that you're learning leg control. Now what you can do leg control with this, you can skip up and go really slow, like so, or you can try a little bit quicker, whoop, a little bit quicker like so. So, whoop. Oh, miss. Oh, that wasn't bad, that one. Miss. Oh, bit of touch there, not bad. Oh. Oh, distance. Oh, here we go. Move around a bit. Here, move back. Kick. Oh, miss. Oh, there's touch. Get the idea? So you see me escalating as well. I started out just coming up and back, and I started moving around a little bit. Yeah, so anyway, there's a great idea. If you've got a tetherball or something like that, give that exercise a try. Fantastic, welcome back. For those of you who tried out that tetherball exercise, I hope you enjoyed it. I love that one. I still remember the first time I saw that sort of exercise and I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah. So, you know, at the moment where we're limited in terms of sparring, we don't really have partners and things like that. So stuff like that is really good for your training. Okay, if you've got a bag at home, like a punching bag, that can work well also. So why the tetherball and not a kick bag or a punching bag? Well, the kick or punching bag is heavy, so you might feel like you want to kick it a lot harder. I'm not recommending for a moment that in terms of your fighting or self-defense that you want watery, feathery techniques. The reason we use the tetherball is to develop focus. Okay, remember, especially here in the Samurai Virtual Dojo, and also when you're training in your traditional karate, the power, how hard we hit things, is just as important as focus and control. Okay. So I'm hoping that you did that Pinan Sandan practice last week. If not, that's okay. Let's have a quick revision of chapter 1 now, and then we'll look at chapter 2. Okay, so starting in Yoi, remember that we looked to the left and we turned into mawashi-geri and block uchuken, which is a block we learned last week. Then we step up, musubi-dachi. The right hand comes underneath, blocks uchuken, while the left hand, the upper hand, blocks genanuke. Good. Then we move our left foot forward and slightly across so that we can turn 180 degrees into mawashi-geri. and block uchuke with the right hand. Excuse my back. We turn and block with the right hand, and then repeat those movements. Okay. So from here, turning to your left, turn to your left, and block uchuke, nekoshi-dachi. Step up, musubi-dachi, right hand underneath. Uchuke, keranuke, very nice. Squeeze, repeat. Remember there's two of those. Good. Now left foot moves forward and across so that you can turn to nekoshi-dachi. Right hand uchuke. Step up, left hand comes underneath. Uchuke, right hand gedan. Squeeze the elbows together. Complete on the other side. Very good, guys. So that's chapter 1. I would like you to practice that now 5 or 10 times. Hit the pause button. Once you've done that, unpause. Let's have a look at chapter 2. Excellent. So chapter 2, I'm going to show you from a couple of different angles. I think the best to start with will be if I turn this way. Okay, so we're going to go this way down the dojo. So block, 1, 2, block, 1, 2. So this is the position we should finish chapter 1 in. Now I'm going to turn 90 degrees towards the shomen, into nekoshi-dachi, and block uchuke. Okay, no, I'm not going to step up and do this again. I'm now going to step into Zenkutsu-dachi and strike Nukite. Don't lunge forward. Keep your body up straight. Good. Now from here we're going to turn into Kokutsu-dachi. As we turn into Kokutsu-dachi, turn your hand over. So hand goes from here to here. It drops a little. Here. Good. Let's do that again. 1, 2, turn 1, 1, 2. From this position, look. Uchuke, nekoshi-dachi. Zenkutsu-dachi, nukite. Kokutsu-dachi, turn now. It's a very, very interesting movement. We're going to take our left leg, this back leg, we're going to step through to shikodachi leg. Watch this right hand. Make sure you're not leaning over. Comes behind the back. Now, I follow my leg through and turn into shikodachi. My left hand lines up. I strike tetsui. As the other hand comes from behind the back. Very interesting movement. Okay, from there we pivot and step and punch. Uesuki. Let's have a look at that whole thing again. So you're going to need, depending on your height, if you're around 180 centimeters, you're probably going to need a full 3 meters to do this. Hello, so I'm a long way back now because I've got 3 meters to cover and stay in frame. Okay, so here we go. This position, we lock uchuke, nekoshi-dachi. Step, Zenkutsu-dachi, nukite. Turn, Kokutsu-dachi. Turn the hand. Left foot, back foot goes behind, ready for shiko. Hand goes behind the back. Turn, wind up, strike, pivot, step. Okay. I am going to show you that facing the camera. Though the angle is not as good for this section, I just want you to have a slightly different perspective. So please feel free to watch this next part. Then I would like you to pause, go back, many times as you need to, and practice this chapter as many times as you need to. Okay, here is the demonstration facing the camera. I hope I've left myself enough room. So, I look, remember, in context of the kata, we're coming towards the shoulder. There's the mawashi-geri. There's the strike, the rukite. Kokutsudachi, hand turns, step through, hand comes behind the back, turn, that nice straight shikodachi there, hand is still behind the back. As I strike, hand comes out, pivot. Oh, just out of frame. Anyway, you get the idea. Pause there. And I would like you to practice that chapter as many times as you need to. I'd suggest a minute, little samurais, at least 5-10 times. Get mummy or daddy to help you. Okay, juniors, at least 10 times, please, if not more. Cadet adult novices, 15-20 times. And then I'll see you back here in a moment. We'll do chapter 1 and chapter 2 together. Excellent. So the final part of our training today will just be simply to pop chapter 2 after chapter 1 of Pinan Sandan. Now I would like to, in terms of the camera, I'd like to come this way for you, or go in this direction. So to do that, I will need to start facing this way. So unfortunately, I am going to turn my back to you for the first part of chapter 1, but hopefully you've practiced enough now that you don't really need to see what I'm doing. So yoi. Okay. Pinan Sandan. Look to the left. Turn and block. mawashi-geri. Step up. Musubidachi. Right hand underneath. Let's get our first double block. Elbows together. Second double block. Left foot goes forward and across. Turn. Mawashi-geri, right leg forward. Right hand uraken. Step up, musubidachi. Left hand goes underneath. First double block, elbows together. Second double block. Here comes chapter 2. Look. Mawashi-geri, uraken. Step. Zen gutsudachi. Rukite. Kokutsudachi. Turn the hand. Yum. Step through, hand comes behind. Wind up your left. Turn shikodachi. Strike. Turn. Excellent. That's chapter 1 and 2 of Pinan Sandan. In preparation for next week's pre-recorded class and our live streams this week on Wednesday, please tune in, 4:30 for Little Samurais and 5 o'clock for juniors. We published our weekly broadcast this morning on Instagram and Facebook, so looking forward to a great week. Please practice chapter 1 and 2 in preparation for live training on Wednesday. Fantastic. So today, after a bit of warming up, we looked at some basic strikes. We also did a chunked and sequenced run through and practice and escalation of our uraken, back fist strike. We did some work on front leg mawashi-geri, which was really good. I also showed you a tetherball option and training drill there, a little bit of tetherball sparring. Okay. By the way, I should have mentioned this earlier. With the tetherball, you can do other techniques as well to develop your control. Spar with the tetherball. It's great fun. Okay, and then we finished with revision of chapter 1, Pinan Sandan, and learning, practicing chapter 2 of Pinan Sandan, and then doing chapter 1 and chapter 2 sequentially. So, I hope you've enjoyed the session today. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me, Sensei Craig, in the Samurai Virtual Dojo. Please remember, if you haven't already, to subscribe and hit that bell button. Get those notifications of when we release new videos. We're putting out a lot of content at the moment, hoping that it's all useful to you for your training at home, your karate development, while you're isolated a little. Remember, stay fit, stay healthy. Okay, for now, this is Sensei Craig, wishing you a great week of training, and I'll see you next time in the Samurai Virtual Dojo.
os.
Ciao.